Hello everyone, welcome to Study IQ English. We all keep hearing in the news how India is trying to become carbon neutral by 2070. In fact, in this direction, we have promised. We recently repeated our promise at the United Nations General Assembly Summit 2025 that we will reduce our total carbon footprint, our total carbon dioxide emission to about 45%. And all this to be achieved by 2030. That's a nationally determined contribution. So if India has to become Viksit by 2047, if we have to reduce our carbon emission completely to zero level by 2070, then it is important to try new sources of energy. We are a huge country. Our energy demand is quite high. And because of that, the government today is investing heavily in the solar energy. The government is investing heavily in hydropower, the geothermal power, nuclear energy, and in the same league comes another technology which I am going to talk about here. And this technology is none other than the CSS technology, the carbon storage and transportation technology. What do you mean by the CSS? Will it help India achieve its goal of becoming zero carbon by 2070? Let's quickly examine in this video. Alright, now talking about this new technique CSS, a topic very important for your UPSC GS paper 3, climate mitigation, carbon dioxide control, renewable source of energy. Here's this technique called CCUS. It stands for carbon capture, usage and storage. It is a 3-step technology, and what does it do for you? It captures the carbon dioxide either from the atmosphere or the carbon dioxide that comes from industrial plants and factories. After capturing it, the same carbon dioxide is now stored. After storage, it is later utilized to produce green renewable sources of energy like the green hydrocarbons, like the green hydrogen, like methane, like the syngas. Eventually, it will help us in reducing our carbon footprint. So is this the solution for future India? Or does it have any problems? Let's quickly examine that. As I said, the CCUS technology is all in line to achieve zero carbon emission by 2070 because Asian countries together are responsible for massive greenhouse gas emission. If you look at some Asian countries like Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, China, India, majority of these Asian countries are responsible for major greenhouse gas emissions, and these are also the countries, by the way, who are today investing too much money in the CCUS technology. All these countries believe that by capturing extra carbon, by storing that carbon, and then by transporting that carbon to a safe storage place, typically underground, the geothermal storage power, if we just store it under the ground, this will later help us in generating more energy. All this, the government targets to happen by 2050, but there is a problem. According to a recent data, if the governments continue to use the technology of CCUS, it is not going to help us. In fact, it will only further add to the burden of greenhouse gases. Why? Why are we caught in this vicious cycle? Let's examine in the future slides. Now, this is a diagrammatic representation of the CCUS process, as you can see on the screen. It follows few certain steps like capturing the carbon, either from an industry or a factory, a power plant or the atmosphere. The same carbon is then transported through pipelines. Now, believe it or not, Australia has a large pipeline, the largest in Asia of this nature. Through pipelines or ships, it is transported and eventually it is stored. Where is it stored? It is stored under the ground or under the sea in a safe reserve. Now, this stored carbon dioxide is later utilized for various kind of chemical experiments, biological experiments, as well as creating green energy, the green hydrogen as we call it. Hence, it is a rising technology. But then, as I said, if it is such an important technology, then what is the problem with it? Yes, there is a problem. Because today, as I said, countries like China, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Australia are massively investing in this technology. And apart from that, India and China are also one of the largest greenhouse gas emitters in the world. Today, the data has said, in fact, rather than helping us, this technology will only worsen the crisis of greenhouse gas emission. Because the purpose of the technology is to prevent huge volume of carbon dioxide from getting released in the atmosphere. We need to capture and store it. We will not leave it loose in the atmosphere to improve our air quality. But that doesn't happen in reality. In reality, it is a technique which will only increase our dependence further on fossil fuels. This is what the data says. The data also says, it looks like a very ambitious plan that by 2050 we can invest in this technology, we can protect our air quality, but it is a very expensive technology. It is a technologically complex thing to do, and that's why only 50% of its capacity has been utilized. The target was about 90 to 95%. So capturing carbon from atmosphere, capturing carbon dioxide from industries, and then protecting it, saving it, is not as easy as it looks. Today, we see that Asian countries are in fact racing with each other to become carbon storage hubs. Each country is outdoing the other. India wants to do better than China. Australia wants to do better than that. We need to save more and more carbon dioxide because we think it will help us in mitigating climate change. But in reality, it's not an easy thing. For example, in India, there is massive steel consumption. Similarly, in the cement sector. In the cement sector also, India is increasing its investment, and these are extremely polluting industries. So in future, are these solutions viable? The article says in the newspaper, the reports say not exactly. Australia, along with India, China, are today trying to create largest pipelines of carbon dioxide in the world. Talking about China, under its 2023 Green and Low Carbon Technology Plan is investing hugely in creating a carbon dioxide storage transport pipeline. Similarly, it also says that the report says that if all the countries continue to depend on this solution, we will never be able to achieve our commitments under the Paris Agreement of 2015, which says we have to reduce our carbon emission to before the industrial era. We can only increase it by 1.5 degree, not more than that. But today the global reality is different. We know that there is a cost involved even in adopting green technology. There is a footfall. There is a massive side effect of adopting solar, of mining rare earth metal. Similarly, even for the CCUS technology, the carbon storage usage, there is a massive side effect. It will only increase our dependence on fossil fuels. It is only an economic risk. It is expensive. And besides, where will we find so much free space? Where is that space available so that we can keep storing our carbon? So today, experts are divided. Some say that this technology has great advantage. For example, it will reduce the total amount of emission of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's an advantage. They say that it will also help us in reducing our greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, and we can achieve the target of 45% GDP reduction of greenhouse gas. The experts are also saying that there are certain sectors which are very polluting, such as cement, oil refineries, coal and steel. If we capture extra carbon dioxide from here, we are only doing good to the climate. That's the argument in favor of the technology. Besides, it also says that the captured and stored carbon dioxide can later be utilized to make hydrogen, green ammonia, apart from that, even methane. So that's a win-win situation. And then job creation. As this technology catches up, definitely there are going to be many jobs that will be created across industries, across supply chains. So these are certain points that favor that. But at the same time, we cannot blindly adopt it too. Because today the experts also say space is a problem. It is a very expensive technology. For developing countries like India, China, Philippines, it is not easy to quickly switch to such a massive infrastructure, for example, pipeline and storage facility. At the same time, it is also very difficult to find adequate amount of space for storing such kind of carbon dioxide gas. Plus, it is time consuming as well. It could have another ecological impact in the future. So therefore, it doesn't guarantee any freedom from emission. It is quite like the carbon trading market system. It may work, it may not. So it also has a side effect. It is not something that we can blindly depend upon, and it is not going to guarantee us absolute access to clean energy. So is there an alternative? Yes. Rather than adopting this technology exclusively, we should explore going completely minimalistic. Now, minimalism is a key thing here. We need to reduce the wastage. We need to reduce our energy consumption. We need to adopt energies like solar, hydro at a larger scale in a more sustainable manner. That's what the experts are saying today. Now, let's see if you can handle this question here. With reference to carbon capture, utilization and storage, the CCUS technique which I spoke about, look at the following statements here. 1. That it involves capturing carbon dioxide emissions from industries and atmosphere and then storing it underground, the sea or the land. Second, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, recognizes CCUS as important in achieving net zero carbon emission by the mid-century. And the third, India's National Green Hydrogen Mission includes the promotion of CCUS technology, and it is a key component of that. I think it's an easy question, don't you? Try to answer. And if you know the answer, you can post me accordingly. And in case you have any view, opinion, in case you have an innovative solution, any alternate that you think could be adopted instead of this uncertain, costly, time-consuming CCUS technology, then please let me know in the comment box. We can initiate a thread of discussion here. And on that note, I'd love to remind you about the ongoing sale. And the sale is exclusively for our fast track batch. So if you are someone who is aspiring for UPSC 2026, now is the time. You can use the code SPLIVE on the screen because the sale ends on 11th October. Just 2 more days to go. What do you get? Well, you get an access to extremely reasonable GS Foundation courses. Use massive discounts on optionals. You have CSAT access, current affairs, daily news, essay writing, whatnot. So please try to enroll for the sale today across Hindi, English or Hin-English batches. If you want us to reach out to you, then do fill up the form. The form is here in the description box of the video. We will get back to you if you fill that. At the same time, if you are someone who's writing the exam in 27 or 28, we also have target batches for that. Okay, morning batch, evening batch, both are available. So whenever you are ready to give a professional edge to your preparation, join us, join our program, enroll for these lovely sale opportunities only at Study IQ IAS. And here's the code for you, code SPLIVE. Thank you so much.